Hello, I am Bayreen, and this is 5 minutes in the Blood Death Knight talent tree. Now, I've already talked about Unholy and Frost, so now it's time to get into Blood. Now, Blood's main spell is Heart Strike, which strikes the target and 2 nearby enemies. Now, think of this sort of like as the Death Knight version of Hammer of the Righteous. Then they have Veterans of the Third War, which increases their stamina and their expertise, very important for tanks. Blood Rites, which acts like Blood of the North and Reaping for tanks, it uses Frost and Unholy, and doesn't use Blood at all. Then we have Vengeance. This is what all tanks have been getting, which every time you take damage, you gain 5% damage, up to the damage taken as attack power, up to a maximum of 10% of your health. Then their mastery is Blood Shield, which is every time they heal, they gain 75% of the healing as a damage absorption shield. So it creates a shield for them, and this gets buffed by mastery, of course. So now we are actually going to talk about the tree, starting with the first row. The first row is Bladed Armor. Very good, definitely want to get this. This increases your attack power compared to your armor. Then we have Blade Barrier, which whenever your blood runes are on cooldown, you gain the Blade Barrier effect, which decreases damage taken for the next 10 seconds, which is usually about the time, which could be about the time that it takes for your next blood rune to come up. Then you have Reaping, which is whenever you kill someone, you gain runic power. And you also gain 1 runic power every 5 seconds while in combat, so you're always gaining it. Then there's Hand of Doom, which reduces the cooldown of Strangulate by 60 seconds. Very, very good talent, especially for PvP. When you're going to be silencing people, it reduces the cooldown by 50%, making it probably the best silence there is. Then you have Scarlet Fever, which is when your opponent has Blood Plague, they also get Scarlet Fever, reducing the physical damage they deal by 10%. So good if you're fighting a melee boss, or if you're PvPing against warriors and paladins. Then you have Scent of Blood, which you have a chance every time you dodge, parry, or take damage to gain Scent of Blood, and causing your next 3 melee hits, attacks that you deal, to generate 10 runic power. Then there's Improved Blood Tap, which reduces the cooldown of your Blood Tap ability, which I personally actually don't use much. I just don't find a use for it. But, okay. I just don't click on it much. Then we have Abomination's Might, which increases the attack power by 10% of all party and raid members, and it also increases your strength. Now, I personally don't think this is good for Blood. I think it should be going to Frost or Unholy. I just think it works better there. Then you have Toughness, which increases your armor value of all items. Bone Shield, which gives you 4 charges that reduce while you have a charge up. You take 20% less damage, and you also deal 2% more damage, and it lasts 5 minutes no matter what. Then you have Blood Caked Blade, which causes your auto attacks to have a 30% chance to have you hit for an extra 25% weapon damage plus 12.5% for each on the target. Then there is Improved Blood Presence, which comes earlier than the other two Improved Presence. And this one increases your rune regeneration by 20%, reduces the chance you get critically hit by melee attacks. Also, when you're in the other two presences, you retain the 4% damage reduction of Blood Presence. Next is Blood Parasite. Any blood tank should get because it causes you to spawn a blood worm, which will attack your enemies until they gorge up, burst, and heal all nearby allies. Then there's Sanguine Fortitude, which helps buff up your Ice on Fortitude. Then there's Empiric Blood, which increases the amount of health Death Knight receives. And actually, that is only you are glyphed for it. Usually it just grants you an extra health. I glyphed that way I gain healing instead of gaining health. If that makes sense. Then there's Rune Tap, which converts blood room and health, healing you. Then Will of Necropolis, which causes Rune Tap to refresh and have no cost. And also then makes all damage taken reduces it by 25%. Next we have improved Blood Strike, which just buffs up by 90%. And very good because that should be one of the spells the Death Knight's always clicking on. Then there's Crimson Scourge, which buffs up Blood Boil by 40%, which is your AoE for Blood Press for blood healing. Then you have Dancing Rune Weapon, the last one, which causes the second rune weapon to come up, dealing damage to your opponent by 50% your weapon. It also gives you additional 20% parry chance when active. So that is the talent tree. Please rate, comment, subscribe, tell me how I did good, how I can improve. I will see you guys later.